I got this shot when I took a short walk the other day, and I ended up on the third floor of a parking garage, and I was surrounded by buildings, and to be honest, there just wasn't a lot to photograph. I took a few snapshots of rooftops, of windows, of just it wasn't all that great. There's actually one picture on the Flickr page, on my Flickr page. If you click through on this picture, you'll end up on my Flickr page, and you can see there's a picture of just a couple windows. And I don't know, it wasn't that great, but yeah, I just wandered around a bit, and I eventually thought about looking downward. It's a perspective I don't normally try because I usually don't hang out on the side of buildings or the side of parking garages. So it's a cool new perspective that I didn't usually see. So I figured I'd see what I could get out of it from a photographic perspective. I went to this spot here where there's these three sidewalks sort of coming together, and there's the door to enter the parking garage is directly on the bottom side of the picture here. This person who's walking, if you can kind of picture in your mind, she's going to turn left in like 1 second and then walk into the parking garage. So I went to this spot and I just waited for someone to walk by. I figured sooner or later someone would walk by, and sure enough, within like 1 minute, someone did. And before I talk about the photo, I want to mention a few things that I don't really like about it. I'm not super happy with that big old circular light at the bottom. I think it's kind of overpowering. It distracts from the rest of the photo. Ideally, I would want your eyes to go straight to the person walking, but instead your eyes are sort of drawn to this massive black circle stuck in there. It'd be kind of cool to do this shot in the early morning or at night, and you could kind of see the glow of light coming down from it, but right now it's just sort of distracting. I don't really like it, but there's only so much you can control when you're taking a picture, and I couldn't move that thing, and I couldn't move myself in such a way that I could get a shot without it. So it's there, and you know, it is what it is. So that's fine. I wish there were more colors too. It's mostly brown and dull green, and it's just not that interesting of a photo visually. I like that this person's wearing sort of a colorful outfit, but you can't see a whole lot of it, and that's fine. One of the whole points of this weekly 50 blog is just to try new things and see what I can come up with. And so I sort of chalk this up to just a learning experience. And I do like a few things about it, though. I do like that you have this visually. I like the intersection of these lines. You've got this horizontal line, this vertical line, and this diagonal line. And I like how they're coming together here. I like the sense of motion with the person walking. Clearly, she's going somewhere, like the photo from a few weeks ago with, I think it was called Daybreak or Daylight, where there's that person sort of walking in front of the sun, and you could see her silhouette. So I like photos with the sense of motion, and this certainly has that. And I also like that I was able to do it in just one shot. I didn't motor drive. I didn't stand up there and just jam on the shutter because I didn't really want to draw attention to myself. So from that perspective, I'm fairly pleased with it. Ultimately, I treat this as sort of an interesting proof of concept. It was fun to try, and I'd like to go back and try it again someday. But I think the photo itself leaves a lot to be desired, and that's fine. I don't think any photo or every single photo should be like a Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci style work of art. I think a lot of photos, at least for me anyway, are just practice and trying new things. So I did learn some interesting things when I took it, and that's all that matters to me. But in terms of a lesson, a takeaway from this, as much as I talk about finding new points of view and new angles to look at things here on this blog and working within the limitations, to be honest, I forget how to do it sometimes. I'll get stuck in these ruts where, I'll look around and I'll just say, man, there's nothing interesting to photograph, and I'll bring my camera somewhere and I'll walk around and I just won't take any photos because I just don't think I can find anything interesting. And I know a lot of people get stuck in ruts like that too. And I forget that there is so much around you. There's so much in this world that you can take a picture of. Someone once said that if your pictures aren't good, it's because you're not close enough. And so if nothing else, just get closer. Find something that you might think is mundane and boring and just get closer to it and see what you can come up with. It's so easy to walk around and not see the beauty of God's creation all around us. I've got an infant son, and everything is fascinating to him. You could hand him like a spoon, and he's just fascinated with it. You could hand him a cardboard tube, and it's just the funnest thing ever. And he just lights up when he sees anything. It's awesome. And then here I am, his dad, and I look around at the amazing, fascinating world all around me, and I'm just bored with it. There's nothing interesting out there. And I see all these amazing buildings and structures and people and nature all around me every day, and I'm just sort of bored with it all. I don't think I have a right to be bored with anything. And if I am, then I just need to find a way to break out of that. And this photo, to me, even though it's like super over the moon with the photo itself, it's just a reminder. The experience of taking this was just a reminder that, you know what, if you just try a little harder, if you just look from maybe a different angle, there are more interesting things out there that are around you all over the place, and you just might not be seeing them because so many of us have lost that childlike wonder of life that we see in kids and other people around us. I had no intention of taking this particular photo when I set out. I just wanted to clear my head and see what I could see. And it turns out, sure enough, there was a really cool shot just waiting for me. And that's my challenge, sort of the lesson I learned, and my challenge to anyone listening to this is, if you feel yourself lost in one of these photographic ruts or creative ruts where you're just not really sure what to take a picture of, just get out and try something new, take a little risk and try seeing things from a different perspective. And chances are there's enormous, magnificent beauty all around you if you can just find a way to see it.